Sakari.
We are the children of the one Yahweh.
The chosen.
Ye are the chosen of the one Yahweh. And he has given his laws to us. Now everything belongs to us.
Alright? What?
This is Galatians chapter 5 and verse, I'm going to start at verse 16. This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would.
Right, give me a second, Ezra 3 and 20. Right? Because we're supposed to walk in the Spirit, man. Give me Romans 7 and 14. Right? Now what does walking in the Spirit mean?
Put that in the floor.
Huh?
Start to pray. Put that in the floor. And that's a belief.
Give me Romans 6.
Put that in the floor.
Romans 6. I mean Matthew 6. Matthew 6, where it says not to pay.
I don't believe that shit.
Because
Put that in the floor.
Jesus said not to pray in the streets. You're not supposed to pray.
Everywhere. He
No.
said
We're going to
everywhere.
read it right now.
He said
We're
everywhere.
going to read it right now. We're going to see if Jesus is a liar or you a liar.
Hey.
Read it.
It's in Matthew chapter 6 and verse 5.
Uh-huh.
And when thou prayest,
Right? When thou prayest, read.
thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are,
Uh-huh.
for they love to pray standing in the synagogues
Uh-huh.
and in the corners of the streets,
In the corners of the streets, read.
that they may be seen of men.
Be seen of men. Right? Go ahead.
Verily I say unto you,
Uh-huh.
they have the reward.
Right? Jesus said not to pray in the streets. Not to be wanting to be seen of men praying in the streets, man.
When thou prayest,
Who you need here?
enter into thy closet.
When
Who
you
you
pray,
need here?
enter into the closet, read.
And when thou hast shut thy door,
Uh-huh.
pray to thy Father which is in secret,
In secret, read.
and thy Father which seeth in secret shall
What kind of
reward
Bible
thee
is that?
openly.
Uh-huh.
What kind of Bible is that?
Right? You're not supposed to pray in the streets among everybody else. You're supposed to pray by yourself between you and the Lord. That's it. Not in front
right.
of everybody.
Look at
That's
that,
what
look at
Jesus
that,
just
look at that,
said.
look at that.
But I guarantee you, this man thinks
Get
he's
out of
a
here.
Christian, man.
Get out of here.
Meanwhile, he's out here more
Get out of here.
drunk out of his goddamn mind.
You are
in the middle of
bullshit.
the day, man. You know? This is the thing this is what Christianity produces, man. Bugged out of their mind, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah 4 and 22.
Uh-huh.
For my people is foolish.
My people is foolish, man. Right? That's clearly a Northern Kingdom brother, man. You know? Probably the tribe of Asher or Zebulun. Right? Out here drunk, talking about pray in the streets. Get on your knees in the streets and pray. Yahweh Shai said not to do that, man.
That's right.
But I guarantee you go home, he's got Caesar Borgia all over the damn house. You know? Go ahead.
They have not known me.
Uh-huh.
They are sottish children.
They are sottish children, man. He doesn't want to stop and hear the words of the Most High. But if I was out here with a 1,000 skin tones later in a damn suit and tie, he would listen to every word I had to say, man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And they have none understanding.
Right.
They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
He's wise to do evil, man. He's wise to get up in the morning and go straight to the beer store and get some beer and be damn drunk by 5 in the afternoon, man. He's wise to do that.
And he doesn't even know how to pray.
What are you doing?
Don't touch
Back
nothing.
Back up.
Boys,
Don't touch nothing here, bro.
Boys,
Don't touch nothing here.
That's a song, bro. You
Don't touch nothing here.
Who you need the floor?
Yo, don't even start that here.
That's Jake, bro. Don't worry.
What?
Leave it. He's Jake.
What?
Fix the shit.
He doesn't even know how to pray properly, man.
Read that again.
They are wise to do evil,
Huh?
but to do good they have no knowledge.
Right, so he'll come out here and push his brother's belongings and property, get be drunk in the middle of the day, smell the beer off his breath,
Feeling up
Right?
a man like some bats,
Right?
boy.
but to know how to pray properly, the way Yahweh Shai Jesus told us to pray, he has no knowledge, man. The words of Yahweh Shai, he has no knowledge of it, man. Right, read it again.
Right? They are wise to do evil,
Wise to do evil, read.
but to do good they have no knowledge.
To do good, he has no knowledge, man. He has no knowledge of what Yahweh Shai and Yahweh want of him, man. Right? Well, let's get back to the lesson.
It's in Galatians chapter 5, verse 17. Verse 17, for the flesh lusteth against the spirit,
And then
and the
you
spirit against the flesh.
And then when you
And these are contrary
hold your
the
mouth.
one to the other, so that ye cannot do the
Come on,
things
come
that ye
on,
would.
to me.
Right, so like, give me that in Ezra's first, second Ezra, right? Because we gotta see what it means to walk in the spirit, man, right? And I guarantee you, like I said, I guarantee you, that man goes to church every Sunday and catches the Holy Spirit and is shaking and shabla in the church, man. I guarantee it to you. Either that, or he goes to the Catholic church and eats a damn cracker every week and has some wine. You know? That's what he. I guarantee it. Right? Go ahead. Read that. 20 or read that. 3:20. Right? To see what walking in the spirit is. Right?
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 3 verse 20.
Uh-huh.
And yet tookest and not go away from them a wicked heart, that thy law might bring forth fruit in them.
Right? Read that again, Salakia, from the top.
And yet tookest thou not away from them a wicked heart, that thy law might bring forth fruit in them.
The law brings forth fruit. Right? Because what we're reading about in Galatians is the fruits of the spirit and the fruits of the flesh. The law brings forth fruit. Let's see what kind of fruit the law brings forth. Romans 7:14.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 14. For we
Your
know
body cells.
that the law is
Your body
spiritual,
cells.
The law is
Body cells.
right, read.
but I am carnal, sold under sin.
So the law is spiritual.
Body cells.
So that's the fruit that the law
Body
will bring
cells.
forth. Spiritual fruit, man. Right? So go back to Galatians 5.
It's Galatians 5 and 17. For the flesh lusts against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh.
Go ahead.
And these are contrary one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would. But if you be led of the spirit, you are not under the law.
If you are led in the spirit, you are not under the law. Why? Because you're not going to be judged by the law because you're keeping the law. You're walking in the law. You're walking in the spirit. So you're not going to be judged by it. You're not under it. Right? Go ahead.
Right? Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these:
Read.
adultery,
Which is against the law. So if you're not walking in the flesh, you're not committing adultery, meaning you're not breaking the law of adultery. Read.
fornication,
Fornication is against the Mosaic law. So if you're not walking in the flesh, you're not breaking that Mosaic law of committing fornication. Read.
uncleanness, lasciviousness,
All in the law. Read.
idolatry,
In the law.
witchcraft,
In the law.
hatred,
In the law.
variance,
In the law.
emulations,
Uh-huh.
wrath, strife,
Read.
seditions,
Uh-huh.
heresies,
Read.
envyings,
Uh-huh.
murders,
Go ahead.
drunkenness,
Keep going.
revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High.
They which do such things, they which break all those Mosaic laws, which are walking in the flesh, shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. So if you don't do that, you're keeping the law, you shall inherit the law, the kingdom of the Most High, man. Right, read?
But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness,
Read.
goodness,
Read.
faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law.
Okay, that's it. Give me 1 Timothy 1 and 7. I'm gonna read to 10. Give me 1 Kings 19 and 18.
Book of Timothy,
Take care of yourself, brother.
this is the book of Timothy.
Shit, this is probably charged already. Yes, that's not working. Alright, Akio.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. Desiring to be teachers of the law,
Desiring to be teachers of the law. Go ahead.
understanding neither what they say,
Uh-huh.
nor whereof they affirm.
They want to teach the scriptures, they want to teach the word, but they don't know what the hell they're talking about, man. Right, go ahead.
But we know that the law is good,
The law is good. Read.
if a man use it lawfully,
If you use it lawfully. Read.
knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man,
Meaning, this is exactly what Paul is saying. you are not under the law if you walk in the Spirit. Because the law, if you're keeping the law, you don't got to worry about being judged by the law. Right? Go ahead.
But for the lawless and disobedient.
But for the lawless and disobedient, man. So if you're not keeping the law, you got to adhere to it so that you won't be under it. Go ahead.
For the ungodly and for sinners. For unholy and profane. For murderers. For fathers. And
because if you're not keeping the law, you're one of these things, man. Read.
And murderers of mothers. For manslayers. For whoremongers. For them that defile themselves with mankind.
Right.
For men stealers. For liars. For perjured persons. And if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine.
To sound doctrine. Right? In Proverbs, what is it, 2 and 4, 4 and 2? I give you sound doctrine, forsaking not my law. Right? That's 10?
It's Ezekiel chapter 18 and 23. Have I any pleasure at all that the wicked should die?
Read.
Saith the Most High, and not that he should return from his ways and live?
Return from his ways and live. Read.
But when the righteous turneth away from his righteousness and committeth iniquity and doeth according to all the abominations that the wicked man doeth,
commit iniquity and return to abominations, meaning breaking the law. Go ahead.
Shall he live? All his righteousness that he hath done shall not be mentioned. In his trespass that he hath trespassed, and in his sin that he hath sinned, in them shall he die.
Right? And these brothers, these Israelites, all the teaching that they've done, all the brothers that they've converted into the life of Israel, of being an Israelite, keeping the law, statutes, commandments, having faith in Yahweh Shai Mashiach, right? All of that good things that they have done, it doesn't mean anything because they're going back to their vomit, man. Right? Go ahead.
Yet ye say that the way of the Most High is not equal. Hear now, O house of Israel. Is not my way equal? Are not your ways unequal?
Right. The Most High's ways, the law, statutes, and commandments are just and right, man. Go ahead.
When a righteous man turneth away from his righteousness and committeth iniquity and dieth in them, for his iniquity that he hath done shall he die. Again, when the wicked man turneth away from his wickedness,
when the wicked man turns away from his wickedness, read,
that he hath committed and doeth that which is lawful and right, he shall save his soul alive.
He shall save his soul alive. When you stop sinning, you stop breaking the laws of God. Go ahead.
Because he considereth and turneth away from all his transgressions.
From his transgressions of the law, read.
That he hath committed, he shall surely live, he shall not die.
So you got to keep this law if you want to live. Like it said in Deuteronomy, right? I set before you life and good and evil and death, man. Choose what you want. Right? Give me that.
This is 1 Kings chapter 19 and verse 18. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal.
Right? During this time in Israel, right? Baal worship was mandated. So now, here it is, you can worship Baal and not be put to death. And then it was Elijah or Elisha, they thought they were the only ones left that didn't worship Baal. Yahweh said, I have left 7,000 in Israel that have not bowed the knee, man. You have a choice. You always have a choice. Right? Not free will, but you have a choice whether you want to serve Yahweh or serve the devil, man. Serve Baal. Serve this white man. Right? Ultimately, obviously, it's Yahweh who's correcting your steps. But we all have the illusion of a choice, man. And whether Yahweh gives you up to serving the white man and Satan and Baal, or whether he brings you into hearing the voice of Yahweh Shai, you know, that's what it is. Give me that.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 4. Moses commanded us a law.
Moses commanded us a law. Read.
Even the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob.
And that's the craziest part, man, because if you're an Israelite and now you don't got to keep the law, what are you now, man? What are you? You're just a Christian that knows he's an Israelite. Once again, you're still discontinued from your heritage because the law is your heritage. So our salvation is us continually being discontinued from our heritage. What holy days are you gonna keep? Are you gonna keep Christmas now because the law is done away with? Or are you gonna continue to keep the holy Passover, man? You know? Yeah.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 17, verse 11. Beside this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for inheritance.
The law of life for what?
For inheritance.
For inheritance, man. This law is our inheritance. This law is our heritage, man. And so for these idiots that want to give that up, that's madness, man. So now you don't have an inheritance. Now you don't have a heritage. You're gonna give up your inheritance like Esau, and give up your birthright like Esau, who the Lord hates.
I'm gonna keep bringing this part. This part is cold. He made an everlasting covenant with them and showed them his judgments.
It's an everlasting covenant, man, and showed you the judgments, right?
For example, like Most High said, he's gonna if a man lay with mankind as he lay with womankind, he shall be put to death. Now the other nations don't know why they're getting put to death for being homosexuals, but the Most High let the Israelites know that I hate that. So if you do that, I'm gonna put you to death, right? That's the beauty. That's the beauty in the Most High showing us his judgment.
2 Peter chapter 3 verse 14. Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent, that ye may be found of him in peace.
Be diligent, man. Be diligent in this work. Be diligent in this walk and in this truth, man. Study, watch videos, come out and do the work, prepare lessons, teach the lessons, man. Talk to people in your everyday life about this truth, man. Right, go ahead.
Without spot and blameless, and account that the long suffering of our Lord is salvation.
Read.
Even as our beloved brother Paul.
Our beloved brother Paul, read.
Also, according to the wisdom given unto him, hath written unto you,
read.
As also in all his epistles.
As also in all his epistles, read.
Speaking in them of these things, in which are some things hard to be understood.
Because when Paul started his ministry, right, he was so focused on the faith. He was a Pharisee of Pharisees, man. He was all about the law, the law, the law. When Yahushua knocked him off of that horse and gave him the revelation, then he became so enthusiastic about the faith aspect, man, to the point where it almost seemed as if he was teaching against the law, which is why these people wrestle with Paul's writings, man. They don't understand what Paul was trying to say. They don't understand who Paul was dealing with, man. Just like Israel today, the Hebrew Israelite community today. They come into this truth and it's all about the law, the law, the law immediately, man. Grow that beard, wear those fringes, keep the Shabbat, right? It's all about the law, the law, the law. And when you really test these niggas, they don't really have faith like that, man. Not understanding, the scriptures say without faith, it's impossible to please the Most High, man. You can have the dirtiest fringes ever, man. You can keep every Shabbat. You can do that. If you don't have faith, the Lord doesn't see any of that, man. The Lord doesn't care about any of that. Right? You gotta couple it together. Faith and works. Law and faith, man. Right? Keep reading.
Which they that are unlearned and unstable.
They which are unlearned and unstable, read.
Rest.
They wrestle with it. They don't understand it, man. Here it is. You're a Christian, right? You're a little kid, and the first thing they have you reading is the damn New Testament, man. The only book on the planet Earth where people start reading it from the back of the book. Every other book, your whole life you're going to school, they tell you to read a book, start from the first page and read on to the end. Right. But somehow the greatest book ever written, you have to start at the end, man. The whole front of it is done away with. Right? Madness, man. Go ahead.
As they do also the other scriptures.
As they do with the other scriptures, man. If you start reading a book from the back, you're not going to understand what the hell's going on because you missed the whole beginning of the story, man. So that's why the Christian church is so confused and so it's filled with madness and heresy the way it is because they start from the back of the book instead of coming in the volume of the book like the scripture says you should. Right? Keep reading.
Unto their own destruction. Ye therefore, beloved, seeing ye know these things before.
Give me Acts 21 and 18.
This is Acts chapter 21 and verse 18.
We're about to read, right? Because these things were happening. Paul was going around and he was harping on faith, and it almost seemed as if he was teaching against the law. And the church fathers, the first church fathers, right? The apostles, the elders, they got wind of it, man. They heard of it, right? We're gonna read that account of what happened. Go ahead.
Right. Acts 21 and 18, and that day following, Paul went in with us unto James.
And this right here, Acts 21, the verses we're about to read, is how you kill a Christian that believes the law is done away with. First and foremost, this is after the death, burial, and resurrection, right? This is after Paul got the revelation, right? This is, I believe it's after, yeah, it is after Cornelius, right? It's after all that. Let's read what happened in the account. Go ahead.
And all the elders were present. And when he had saluted them, he declared particularly what things the Most High had wrought among the Gentiles.
Right.
by
So
his-
Paul came to the elders and the apostles. Right. Go ahead.
had wrought among the Gentiles by his ministry. And when they heard it, they glorified the Most High.
Right. So Paul said, I'm out here teaching these Gentiles, man. They're hearing the word. They're getting down with it. Right. The elders and the apostles praise the Most High. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Right. Go ahead.
And said unto him, Thou seest, brother, how many thousands of Jews there are which believe, and they are all zealous of the law.
Right. He said, you know, like we know you go out there and you teach the Gentiles who are in a lost state. But we got these Jews over here who know they're Jews, and they're about this law, man. They're about keeping this law. Read.
They are informed of thee that thou teachest all the Jews which are among the Gentiles to forsake Moses.
They said, we heard that you're telling everybody to forsake Moses, to forsake the law, the Mosaic law. Right, go ahead.
Saying that they ought not to circumcise their children,
But not to circumcise, right? Not to keep that law. Go ahead.
neither to walk after the customs.
Uh-huh.
What is it therefore?
What is this? Why are we hearing this about? That's not what we teach. That's not the doctrine. You know? Go ahead.
The multitude must needs come together, for they will hear that thou art come.
Right, we need to kill these rumors, man. We need to put a stop to this, because that's not what we teach over here. Right? Go ahead.
Do therefore this that we say to thee.
Do this. What we're about to tell you, you're gonna do it. Because Paul was under these men. Showing what? Order and rank. People got a problem with order and rank, man. Order and rank is all throughout the Bible. From when we left Egypt and we assigned officers and captains to here, where we have apostles and elders, man. They're ordering Paul. Read.
It says, do therefore this what that we say to thee. We have 4 men which have a vow on them.
4 men which have a vow. What vow is that? The Nazarite vow. You read about it in Numbers, the 6th chapter. So now if the law is done away with, why are they referencing Numbers, the 6th chapter? Which is outside of the 10 Commandments. Which you say that that's the only ones we're supposed to keep. But they're referencing Numbers, the 6th chapter. Read.
Take them and purify thyself with them.
Do the purify, right? The laws of purification. That's more laws that are outside of the 10. Read.
And be at charge with them, that they may shave their heads.
Shave their head, which is the ending of the Nazarite vow. Read.
And all may know that those things whereof they were informed concerning thee are nothing.
All those things that people are talking about you, those rumors that you're teaching that the laws are done away with, are nothing. That's garbage. The laws are in full effect. Read.
But that thou thyself also walkest orderly and keepest the law.
That thou thyself walkest orderly and keepest the law. Right? So there you go. There you have it, man. Paul was keeping the laws of God. They told him to do this vow, right? To shave the heads, to kill the animals, make the sacrifice for the Nazarite vow. To show everybody that he's not teaching that the laws are done away with. Right? Now give me that.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 23, verse 1. Then spake Jesus to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees.
Because this is what they'll say. Oh, those guys, all they care about is the law, the law, the law. They're Pharisees. They're the modern day Pharisees. Let's see what Christ said about the Pharisees. Go ahead.
The scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat.
The scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat, right, Reed?
All therefore, whatsoever they bid you observe.
All that they bid you observe and do. And what do they all? The Christian will tell you. All they talked about was the law, the law, the law. You got to keep the law. You got to keep the law. But Christ said all that they bid you observe and do. So if the Pharisees were telling you to keep the law, Christ said you got to do that. Keep the law. Right? Go ahead.
That observe and do, but do not ye after their works.
Don't be like them though. Do what they say to do, but don't do what they do, because they were hypocrites. They talked about keeping the law, but they didn't keep the law, man. Which is a lot of you Israelites out there, man. Y'all talk about the law, You got your big fringes and your big ass beard, right? You post every Shabbat Shalom all over the damn Instagram, right? But meanwhile, you got grudge in your heart against your brothers, man. Right? You got a wicked eye against your brothers. But you want to talk about the law, when you're not keeping the most basic parts of the law, the easiest parts of the law, which is to love your own people, man.
Right.
Love them as yourselves. Hey, brothers, you black people are the chosen people of God, man. All right?
That's
right.
The Israelites, man. All right?
Seeing?
You brothers got to keep the laws of God and faith in Yahushua Mashiach, who the world calls Jesus, who is actually a black man like you, man. Jesus was not no white boy, man. Jesus looked like you, man. And Jesus was from the hood, just like you're from the hood.
That's right.
All right? Gotta get some blood off our hands, man.
Right.
That's what we out here for.
That's right.
You know? So read that again from the top.
Oh, therefore, whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do.
Do it, man. Keep the law, like the Pharisees used to say. But don't talk about the law and not keep it, like the Pharisees used to do. Right? Go ahead.
But do not ye after their works, for they say and do not.
They say and do not, man. Right? That's it, not? God, man. So we're supposed to keep this law. It's very evident and clear within the scriptures that we're supposed to keep this law and faith. Right? Give me that in Revelation and give me that in Ezra. What?
This is Revelation chapter 14, verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High.
Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High. This is what the saints will be doing. Keeping the commandments of the Most High. Go ahead.
And the faith of Yahushua.
And the faith of Yahushua. Faith and works. Faith and the law. Right, let's get another witness, man. Probably one of my favorite verses in the Bible.
This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, and verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved.
Everyone that shall be saved, read.
And shall be able to escape by his works.
By his what?
By his works.
By his works. By keeping the law. Read.
And by faith.
And by faith. Read.
Whereby ye have believed. Shall be preserved from the said perils.
You're going to be preserved from the said perils. From race wars. From COVID-19. From the damn market of beasts. From the thermonuclear missiles. Read.
Right. And shall see my salvation in my land.
Shall see the salvation of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Read.
And within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Then shall they be in a pitiful case.
Read.
Which now have abused my ways.
Which those people who are going to be in a pitiful case abuse the ways of the Most High. Read.
And they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments.
Read.
For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me.
Go ahead.
And they that had loathed my law.
They that have what?
Loathed my law.
Those people that have loathed, that hate the laws of God, that teach you don't gotta keep the laws of God anymore. Read.
While they had yet liberty.
While they had liberty, while they were not under the law, they had liberty. They had the freedom to keep the law, even though they weren't under the law. Right, read.
And when as yet place of repentance was opened unto them.
Right, that's the grace. That's being under grace, read.
Understood not, but despised it.
You didn't understand it, and you despised the grace that was given unto you, right? Read.
The same shall know it after death.
You're gonna realize you're in error when you die, man.
Right.
When the Lord kills you, man. Because it's all throughout the Bible. The laws and the commandments is life, and sin is death.
Right.
So why would you teach that, man? You're literally teaching death. Right, finish that up.
Right. The same shall know it after death by pain.
The same shall know it by death by pain. Right? So we gotta keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and keep the faith of Yahushua and Mashiach both in unison. Alright? Because they're one and the same. If you really look at it. Right? But with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushua, and as always, Kwam Yasharallah.